Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today's session. My name is Isabel. I am an event planner for the Reactor, joining you live from Sydney, Australia. Before we begin today's session, we have a quick housekeeping. We strive to create a welcoming, inclusive, and supportive environment for both our audience and presenters. While we absolutely encourage engagement in the chat, please let's keep all comments respectful, professional, and constructive throughout today's session. This session is being recorded and will be available to view on demand within 24 to 48 hours right here on the Microsoft Reactor YouTube channel. If this is your first time attending a Microsoft Reactor session, please note that you must create a YouTube account in order to have access and interact in the chat. You can set that up now. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us on social media or throughout the Microsoft Reactor website. I will now turn this over to our speakers. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Yaden, Isabella. So, without further ado, welcome to Copilot Chronicle series. I have received overwhelming response from everyone for the Copilot season, and today we have a very awesome speaker. Once again, the MVP. So, before I talk about the speaker, I just want to give a little gist as to what today's topic is. It's all about no code to auto code because everywhere we keep talking about no code, low code, pro code. But today we're going to see about how we transition from no code to auto code with the Studio AI Builder and AI Foundry, which is one of the hot topic. So the session focuses more on building agents, AI Copilot with Copilot Studio. So if you are a person who wants to build something but you are not into the coding part, then you might find this session interesting and intriguing to understand more about it, understand more as to what the prompt engineering is all about, because at the end of the day you are giving the prompt, getting back response, building up, updating or modifying the existing prompt, and then again updating it. So it's all about prompt. How is this AI builder model actually works or enhances your business logic, and also how do I go without extensive coding. So we're going to cover all this, and for this we're going to have our very own speaker, Bhargavi, who's a senior software engineer with almost 6+ years of experience in technologies like C hash, Python, Pega, OpenSpan, UiPath, machine learning. You keep naming, and she is already into it. And she is a MVP and a Microsoft certified data scientist associate. So, without further ado, Bhargavi, welcome to the show. And the forum is all yours. Looking forward for your session.
Thanks, Kamal, for the brief introduction, and I am happy to have another session with you again. So, hope my uh, voice and screen is visible, and let me get started with it. So, today's topic is all about like no code to auto code, which is something like what Kamal said. It's like the world focus on how do we code and how do we uh, lesser the code that what we want, and how much uh, productivity that what we can increase is something that what the world focus on right now. And with the help of like agents, which is also something like a no code one, then if we can build and if we can automate something, then that would be really nice to know, right? So that's something that this particular session would be focusing on. So, this is a brief introduction of myself, wherein I work as I have transitioned as a data scientist lead, and I had been working as a community mentor, and then I work as a Microsoft MVP, and then also a Microsoft certified trainer too. And then I do write articles and blogs at my free time, wherein you can find me in LinkedIn. Uh, Post the session as well, and I would be happy to help you up with the session. If you have any doubts, I would be happy to take that up and answer your queries post the session as well. So the agenda for today's session would be like we will be targeting on the Copilot Studio overview on how does it work, and then we would also be seeing about the prompt engineering basics, which is much needed for how do we get the auto code being enabled, and then we would be also seeing about the AI Builder integration. So we would be seeing what is AI Builder as well, and then we would also be seeing how does it get integrated along with the Copilot Studio, and how can we automate things being uh, falling under our plate. So those kind of things that what we would be discussing on, and then we would also be doing a comparison with the AI Foundry along with the Copilot Studio, so that you would get to know how can we differentiate low code, no code um, AI agents along with the normal agents that what we wanted to develop on. And along with that, we would also be focusing on the demo part, which would be the major part that what we would be focusing on, and at last I would be taking up the Q&A. So as we all know, the world is now changing on, and without AI, there is nothing. Like even when we are very new to AI, then there is something that AI gets integrated in everything. So, and even more further, it would be like the AI agents get integrated with everything. So what does this agent do apart from all these terms that what we have? So what does this AI agent do? AI agent is something like when we have I mean compare the uh, different methods, like when we have the way that what we can put in a simpler term, the AI agent is something that which performs task automatically based on the goals and environment that what it has. And there is also something called as agentic AI, which comes in wherein which would be doing up things when it gets coordinated as a series of the complex goal. Like uh, think generative AI to be something like the one who creates, and think AI agent is something like the one which acts, and think agentic AI is something like the one who thinks apart from that. So to put in that short terms, this would be the major thing that what it would be doing on. So as I mentioned earlier, it would be something like it would be acting on the one that what it would be getting the response, getting the prompt based on that format. So if we want to develop something based on like you want to do some kind of like services that are based on uh, smart services, then obviously this particular thing would be helping you up with the different kind of things that like being integrated with the Gen AI models. And then it would also be giving you up with the different ways that what you can integrate with and help you up in building up the workflow from the start to the end. And it would also be helping you up in doing the things from the start to the end, and complete the same as well. So that's where the task automation part comes in. And one simple example that what I would be putting on here is something like when we wanted to read a mail and respond back to the user. So we would be earlier writing an automation, and from there it would be picking up the things that what we wanted to have, and all those things we would be following on, right? So now after the AI agent, what we would be doing is like a simple integration of what we wanted to do. Like it would be running at the background, wherein when we just given the prompt, then that would be helping you up in deciding what things that needs to be followed for the same, and it would be taking up the steps based on that format and completing the end to end flow that needs to be followed for you, and it would be giving you up the response as well. So that's where the difference between the regular automation and the agent being used for the automation differs on. Now, I assume that you are familiar with AI agents, and moving on to the next part, which is why do we want no code, no code, I mean, to auto code. So, why do we want is like when we go and check for something like GitHub Copilot, or when we go ahead and start using different things that what we have, all those will help you up in reducing the code that what you are currently writing, right? Like when we want to sit and develop a website for hours and make it publish, then that can be the same which could be achievable via a simple prompt. Or when we want to develop the whole mobile application, and that can be done with a simple prompt again, then obviously you would be going and using the prompt that what you have. And that's where the low code no code plays a major role, and that particular auto code, like wherein you would be developing wherein you would be integrating the low code no code tools being integrated along with the AI copilots, and you would be establishing the same, like wherein you can have the various things being performed inside the low code no code is called as the auto code, and you can have the development time being reduced, which plays the major role, right? So that can be done as a major part. And as we saw earlier, you can integrate the same, like you can integrate it along with the logic, and you can build the smarter automation as well. And in demos part of today, we would also be seeing a demo of one automation wherein we would be seeing of how to classify a text with the help of the Copilot Studio itself being integrated along with the Power Apps AI Builder, and we would be seeing the same as well. If you are confused still of how does the no code or auto code works, we would be catching up in the demo part, and stay tuned until that. So before we go into the demo part, we should be clear on how what is Copilot Studio, right? So the Copilot Studio is one of the context of Microsoft 365, wherein it would be a powerful platform which should help you to create custom copilots, and wherein you can create your own copilot inside that, and you can integrate different GPT models being added for it, and you have around hundreds of data sources that is being enabled inside the Copilot Studio. And this is one low code no code approach which would be available. When you are familiar with Dialogflow CX or Dialogflow EX, you would be integrating, or you would be developing a chatbot which would be of taking a much longer time, right? When compared to those things, when you come and develop a chatbot, or when you want to develop some kind of agentic AI related a virtual assistant being enabled for you, then Copilot Studio would be a major role, would be playing a major role, which would be reducing your time, wherein you can play around with your flows, or you can develop your virtual assistant in minutes, I would say, wherein all the backend works being done by the prompt itself. And earlier, if you are very familiar with Power Virtual Agent, then that's obviously the same which had come up with the different version of it. So that's where the Copilot Studio plays a major role on. And for the Copilot Studio to work as you expect, you have a monthly mantra which is being used, which is common among the world now as well, which is the prompt engineering. So let us now also learn about prompt engineering so that you would also get to know about l- I mean, get to know about how to do the auto coding so well. So, prompting is a technique which would be like instructing the AI model on how to do things on your pace. Like, how do you expect your own things to get and delivered for you, right? So that's where the prompt engineering plays a major role on, and that can be of different types, which is like text to text or text to image or text to audio or text to video, or that can be of anything. And one notable point that what you have is like how precise is your prompt will be the precise of your result that what you have for. And when you play around with different kind of prompts, then the whole concept of the prompt engineering comes in, and that's where like how you want to know on how to write a prompt, or how do you want the agent to work on, or how do you want the particular generative AI part been giving up the response for you. So you would be deciding on everything based on the prompt that what you provide on. So now we are clear of how what is Copilot Studio and how does the Copilot Studio work. Like we will be providing the prompt and it would be generating the results, or something that what we tried to understand. Let us see the architecture for once, and we would also be seeing the same kind of architecture being integrated along with the demo part, and we would be comparing both those things, and we would be getting the uh, result for the same as well. So consider the UI that what you are seeing for the Copilot Studio, like the Microsoft Copilot Studio, that where you would be providing the prompt, and then you can also create the flow, and you can also have the topic being enabled for you. So all those things fall under the creator layer, which is the path where you would be able to see the different kind of things that what you want uh, for your particular virtual agent to be developed on. So say assume that you had built everything, and though and you need some kind of like topic which would be giving you up with the result based on the based on the conversation that what you give, it has to answer you back, right? So that is called as the topic. And flow is something that from where to where it has to flow on, and what does it do as a next step, and deciding on what all things that what it has to do falls under the flow. And the next part is like the connector. The connector is something like when you want your particular flow to be on plate, like how your like say you can connect different agent right now. Like you can develop a different agent, and you can connect that particular agent being added inside the Copilot Studio of another agent as well, like forming a multi agent, and you can make it work. So those all agent that I mean those all connector that what you are doing will be falling under the creator place. And once you had given some prompt or something, then at the back end it would be creating the logics which are being needed for it. And if at all that needs some kind of like workflow, or if at all it needs some kind of like plugin which needs to be enabled, then it would be enabling everything, and it would be giving you back with the result, right? So those all part comes under the part which happens next to the prompt is called as the copilot and plugins, wherein it would be having the prompt plugins, topic plugins, and everything which would get attached when you give the prompt. So those all parts are called as the prompt and copilot and plugins, and that would be happening over there. And when you had plugged in the prompt, what happens as a next part is like it would be checking up with the metadata that what it needs as a next step, or it would be taking up the custom API if at all you had developed, or if you had connected your particular agent, or if you had connected your particular Copilot Studio version into a Power Platform, or I mean into a Power Apps or Power Automate, then obviously it works under the Dataverse, right? Wherein it would get stored your data inside the Dataverse, and from there it can access all the data. So those kind of APIs, that what you wanted to run will be falling under the runtime execution layer, and that would be giving up with the giving the result back to the Power Automate plugins, and from there it would be giving all the details which are being needed for it, and gives back the result based on that format. And what happens with the help of the uh, Dataverse Q&A API is like, it would be taking the result from the data AI layer, which is from either of the following, like Dynamic 365, or it can be of Power Automate plugin, or what plugin that what you had tried to use here. Say in case of like the plugin that what you would be doing, or the configuration that what you would be doing, right? So based on that part, it would be choosing up the plugin in the next step, and from that it would be taking the uh, data based on that part inside the uh, data or AI layer, and it would be giving up the result from that part. If at all your plugin does not match, what it would be doing is like it would be going and looking at the OpenAI whether there are some kind of like result which are being available, and it would be giving up the result based on that format, and gives the result back the same. So the whole architecture works in this format. And if it's been confusing for you, I again ask you to wait for a minute or so, so that we can see a demo with that time. So now we would be going back. I mean, we still have slides, but before that, we would go back to the demo part, and we would see how does the Copilot Studio work, and then we would return back to the slides so that you can understand it better. So, to make your Copilot Studio work, you have to have, I mean, you can have the trial version being enabled for you, or there are different ways where you can get the license for your Copilot Studio. Like, you can log in with, I mean, you can have the 30 days free trial for your version at this moment, and you can try. Or if at all you are having some kind of like official work that needs to be done, then you can go ahead with the M365 license, or the one that what you would be using for the Power Apps and uh, Power Automate, right? So you can go ahead with that as well. So if you have the Power Apps Premium or Power Apps Power Automate Premium versions, then you would be able to access this particular thing as well. And I request you to have something like when you are accessing inside the Copilot Studio, uh, your tenant which you are accessing with this for the Copilot Studio, and the Power Apps should be of same, else you won't be able to integrate all the different kind of AI builder features and other things in place. So that it would be kind of like a difficulty that what you would be facing. Like, there are much benefits when you use the AI builder being integrated, so you would be missing all those things. So just to ensure that both are in the same tenant, and you would be working on those things. Now, coming back to Copilot Studio on how does it work. So what you would be doing is like when we wanted to describe our agent, I'm just clicking on with this so that you would get to know on how does it work, and we will get back to the Power Apps part, which is the connection of the agentic, I mean, AI builder being connected with the AI agents being done at the later stage. Now, let us take with the same example that what we have. So this is a description that what we had provided on how does it work, and for this we will be confirming that it needs one agent, and you can read over the description of the agent on how does it work. And when you click on create, what happens is like it would be creating, and before you click on create, you have click on configure and just have an eye on description instruction, and then you can also have the different prompts which can be used for this. So you should be checking all those things, and this is the place where you would be changing the name of your agent, like HR benefits is something that we will be giving for this. And if at all you want to change your icon, then you can go ahead and change your icon here. And then description is something that where you would be describing your agent being done with around one line, I would say, and on how does it target and who are the audience and what is the end goal is something that your description should be having on, wherein you should not be providing the in-depth knowledge of what it has to do, wherein all those details of in-depth knowledge of what it has to do has to be carried out under the instruction part, and you should be providing all the instruction under the instruction part of if this step is being carried out, then the next step that what it has to do is the next step that what is being assigned over here. If the instruction has been provided, then it has to answer the questions based on the employee benefits. So it would be kind of like a step by step action that what we would be getting over here. And then when we come for the suggested prompts, the suggested prompts can be something of like how can your questions be at the first step, and how does it start, or how do we kickstart our agent to start on is something that the suggested prompt will be doing on. So when we have given all those things as part of the next step, what you can do is like you can add with the knowledge base. So the knowledge base can be of anything, like you can add in the public website, or you can add the SharePoint, or you can give your own data that what you wanted to have. So there are different ways that what you can give on, like say in case when it's a public website, then that should be of publicly available, and if at all you are giving in a public website to train on, then that should be of two parent level down alone, I mean the two root down alone, it's allowed inside the public website. So what does it mean by two root down? So consider the website that what we have, copilotstudio.microsoft.com /environment /default, right? So until environment it is allowed, and post default it won't be allowed, because it would be taking up all the datas which are being available until the root 2 down and not post that. So if you give something like microsoft.com, then you can ensure that you will be getting all the data which has been available under that, being trained for it, I mean been available for it to answer your queries. So that's how the knowledge base works on. And as part of the next step, what we can see is like we will try to create it and we will try to see. So when we had created the same, it would be taking up few minutes, and that would be giving you up with the results based on the same. Like the agent will be now created, and at the right side you can find that you will be having the test your agent, and from there you can test your agent on whatever the queries that what you have on your mind. And you will also have the responsive model which has been available, like whether you have the GPT-4 version model, or if at all you want to change something of that sort, then you can go ahead and change the models which has been available here, like whether your model should be of like a generative AI one that needs to be enabled, or how does it work as something that you would be providing on, and from there it will be giving you up with the result on the same. And then you will also have the agent details which we gave earlier, right? So all those details will be available again here, and then you can define your own security, like you can authenticate uh, to come inside or to log in inside this particular agent. So all those different kind of the various things that what you can do for your agents can be carried out inside this particular settings part. And if at all your orchestration is set to be like disabled for generative AI, then how does it do is like it would be taking up the response from your knowledge base alone, and it would be trying to give you up with the result on that format. Now, now comparing the instruction that what I mean, comparing the architecture that what we saw earlier along with the part that what we had given right now. So we can see that we have overview, and then we have something called as agents, and then you have something called as topics, and you have the knowledge which has been available, and you have the plugins which has been available, like you can connect to the existing plugin over here as well. And when you connect it, then that becomes the plugin for your Copilot Studio. Or you can also have the different kind of the channels which has been available here, like web app or demo website, or you have the Teams and Microsoft 365 Copilot, or there can be of anything which should be available, and all those falls under the plugin. So you would be able to have the different kind of version which has been added as a plugin, and you can use that. And topics are something like when you say hi, it tries to understand and it would be replying you back with different kind of hi, hey, howdy. So there are different ways, right? So that's where the topic plays a major role on. And agents is something that what we saw right now. So what does this particular tool is used for is like the tool will be like having your connection plane established. And this is what we saw right now, like we have different kind of the connectors or plugins which would be available, and you can go ahead and use that. Say in case like we want the flow being added for ourselves, then you will be having in the flow being added, or you can create a uh, own customized flow as well, which would be available here. And from that you can have the agent being added, or you will be able to have the REST API being added, which would be like you have created an API and that needs to be added here, then that's possible as well. So there are different ways that what you can uh, use use your agents. And now that you had developed everything, let me go back to the agent that what we had developed earlier, so that it would be easy for us to get the time being saved. Now, this is one agent that what it does is like it would be kind of like acting as a shop assistant agent, which should be telling us like whether if you are working on for some kind of like, I mean, it would be working along with the customers, wherein it would be like uh, giving you the product catalogs, and it would be giving you some kind of like assistance, and then gives you with purchases. And this is the description that what we had given on, like you will be giving the polite and helpful tone is something that which where you would be giving, and from that it would be replying you back the result based on that format. And then the model that what we had used is GPT-4 is something that what we had defined on for it, and these are the instruction that what we had given for it. So you are a product assistant agent is something that what we had given for it, and if at all you are helping someone, you should be helping with the explore and inquire about the available product is something that what we had defined on. And what we have also defined on is something like we have asked it to receive the information from the user, which will be filling up the product information from their field, and then it would be getting all the details like mail, and then it would be saying thank you, and it would be exiting. Now that we will be checking up with how does this agent works. Now, why do we call this as a agent? Because you had given this particular instruction, and what it does is like it would be acting on by itself, wherein on a regular way of defining or regular way of creating your own virtual assistant, what you would be doing is like you will be creating the topics and other things. Like when we wanted to design this particular flow, you will be creating n number of topics or n number of flows on what it has to do, right? So what it does on this particular thing is like it would be taking up the particular way on how does it do, like um, let us see that if it's been, I mean, I had also given it some kind of the data that what it can take as well, like uh, just a minute, sorry. So, what it can do as well as, right? So, what it would be doing is it would be taking up the data which has been given for it, and we had given it with few sample data, uh, which is something like what I had for this particular sample data was like it would be taking up the datas which are related to the herbal oil or those kind of details that what it would be giving on. Now we are unable to see the knowledge base. Right now I will be showing up the details that what it tries to give on. Now when you start typing on here, what happens is like it would be giving up the result which are being based on that format. Can I get, so this is something that which I ask for. So what it would be doing is when I ask for it, it would be uh, if at all you had observed it here, it had checked under the both of those things. And when and when it was available under the knowledge base, what it did was like it would be giving up the result based on that format, and it would be giving you up with the result based on that, and it would be giving you the result on that format as well. Like the response was, we just gave in like hair growth, and then it cost around 150, and it has been available. So these are the data that what we had given. So you can find it here. Like it was, this is the table that what it had tried to get, and it had tried to give the information based on that. So when you give something based on that format, it would be trying to escalate the same to the customer, and it would be like it would be the next step that what it can do. And when that particular step is being integrated, then that particular topic would be giving you up the result based on that, and it sets you up with the standard of how does it do. So this is the whole way that what the Copilot Studio would be working on, and it would be giving you up with the result based on that format. Now, if at all you want to use something like a different format of like you want to enhance it further, and not just with the knowledge base, and you have your own code being done for you, then obviously there are cases like you will be able to build your own agent in a your own agent, and you want to integrate the same, right? So for that, what you can do is like we saw like we saw a tool which has been added here, right? Like API, REST API. So you can go ahead and use that, and with that, you would be, I mean, you can publish it under the, you can publish the one that what you need, and you would be able to see the REST API being connector being available, and from there you can connect the REST API being connected here. So that's the simplest way that what it would be doing. So as part of the next step, what it can do is like um, so this is one step that what we had tried to do on. Now assume that you have. So you want your particular agent to be connecting, and it has to do some kind of like task that what it needs to perform on its own, like kind of a auto code. So what it would be doing is it would be it should be using some kind of the AI builder. Like what does this AI builder is like? AI builder is being available from 2019 in Power Apps and Power Automate, which is something like a AI feature of low code no code being added inside the Power Apps and Power Automate. What it does is like it would be used for having the versions being enabled for you. Like you can summarize text, or you can have the exact information from text, or there can be of anything that what you can do. Now it also allows you to give the prompt that what we wanted to develop on. And if at all you give some kind of like suggestion, like customer satisfaction customer satisfaction is something that what you try to give on. And when you try to give some kind of instruction, then that would be like uh, giving you up with the result. And you can read it over here. Like it would be taking up the result based on that format, and then it would be giving you up with the there are certain instructions which are being given. And apart from that, the one that what it has with the hashtag is like the next step of what it has to pick on. If at all it's running some kind of workflow, then that comes and looks at this part, and it would be taking up the details based on that format. So it would be describing, or it would be taking up the result based on this, and it would be giving you up with the result on that format. Now assume that you are not okay with this particular instruction, and you want to give something else. Then you would be like you would be changing the model here, and from there you can have the instruction being enabled. And if at all you want to test the model here itself, then there is an option to test, and you can test it, and your result would be available here. And from there, once you are done with that part, when you save it, then your model would be available for the, like, your model would have been saved and you can access it. When you are under the same tenant, then there is a possibility that you can integrate the same AI builder feature being added inside your flow, which is something like this part, wherein you will be creating the, let me not disturb this, let us come back to that part again. So what you would be giving is like, you will be giving the customer satisfaction. I'm just giving in over there. So you will be giving as a next step. So when you click on that, you will be having the add a tool, and from there you will be getting in the instruction that what you wanted to have. And the tool that what you had created, new prompt, and that new prompt or the prompt that what you had created would be available. And from that you would be able to choose on and use that particular model being created and used for yourself. And what happens as a next step is like, it would be having the data being created, and you will be able to have the model or the prompt that what you had created there being available here, and you would be able to get that and use it here. Now assume, I mean, not assume, so we had created a model about 1 minute back, right? So the model that what you had created is now available here, and what you can do is like, it would be taking that particular part as input, and if at all you want some kind of output, then you would be giving that here, and you will be saving that, and you can run that part again. So this is how you can do that, and you would be able to get that part. And uh, like, you will be able to get that whole thing being added uh, under your topics here inside the Copilot Studio. So now when you want to test something, or when you want to run your workflow, then this whole thing of integrating the power automate or power apps along with the AI builder gets integrated with this, and you will be able to have the different things being added for you. So this is like the one that what it has the for the um, whole demo part for today. And apart from that, I do have few slides wherein we would be seeing about, um, many of you might be aware of the Foundry. So Azure Foundry is a place where we would be able to have the models being developed for you, like the agentic AI, or when you want to have the AI agents or LLM models, then that's the place where you would be developing, right? So what you can do is like, when you had developed a model over there, and when you want to integrate the same along with this, then that's possible too. What you can do is the same step that what we had what we had seen earlier, which is like you will be integrating this uh, with the help of the REST API, and from that gets generated, and you can have the model being added here inside the Copilot Studio. Or you can go ahead and, instead of the UI part alone, you can use this particular part of Copilot Studio. Now, this is the whole comparison of the Copilot Studio versus the Foundry. So, if you are a Copilot, your need is so small and it's just a simple requirement, then obviously the Copilot Studio would be able to assist you on. And AI Foundry is something like where you need some kind of like code support being added for you. And what happens is like the prompt flow will be available as a built-in feature of Copilot Studio, wherein it's a custom based when it falls for AI Foundry. And then when it comes for the developer control, as much as feature that what it can give you on, it is limited. Like you can do certain things alone being done inside the Copilot Studio, whereas the AI Foundry is developed particularly for the complex project. So you can have the complex projects being developed there, like RAG model, or you can have the different model, whatever name that what you are mentioning can be done with the help of the AI Foundry, and you can integrate the same inside the Copilot Studio. So if at all your use case is something like business users, then you would be going and using with the Copilot Studio. If not, you would be using the AI Foundry. So uh, just in case, like if you are assuming on which one to use, like if you are starting your particular thing, then this would be helping you up in deciding. Like Copilot Studio is basically targeted for business process automations, which are currently being done via the codings, and that would be helpful for the ones which would be which would be kind of like automated, and that can have no code at all. And AI builder is something that which that the uh, extra add-on feature which we saw under the Power Automate and uh, Power Apps, which would be adding the intelligence being added for you. Like say in case you have different kind of the OCR extraction, or you have the text classification model being needed, then AI builder will be assisting you on those things, and you can go ahead and use that. And AI Foundry is something like when you want multi agent or orchestration being done for you, then AI Foundry will be helping you up with that particular part. And if at all you want to combine all these things, then that's possible too. Like what we said, you can mark it as the REST API, and you can bring the AI Foundry features being added inside the Copilot Studio, and from there you can make it work. So the combination also works best for you. So coming to the end of the slide for today, wherein we have around uh, 7 minutes left, and I am now open up for any questions that what you have. And even if I don't answer, or if I don't find your questions, or if at all I miss out, please do reach out to me via my LinkedIn. I would be happy to help you up anytime post the session as well. And I would be happy. I would be available for you whenever you wanted to have on. So
No.
coming to the questions part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what. Thank you so much. That was an eye-opening session on what this no code is all about. How do you actually transform manual workflow to intelligent automation? Your demos, the custom code to AI generated solutions. It was an intriguing session for everybody. So we will open the forum for questions. So I do have a couple of questions in the chat. So
Yeah.
one of them is, so I'm just going to randomly pick it up uh, by Vismay Raj, which says, what are the practical example this is being used by companies?
So the practical examples is something like when you want to, like what we saw, like whatever the task that what you can do along with like uh, when you want an email to be read, and that email has to answer on its own of repetitive task that what it can do, and then it has to answer back when you wanted to have on your chatbot. If at all you want some kind of like basic update inside your chatbot, like, hi, can you assist me with uh, some kind of like mails that what I had got, or what are the approvals that which are being pending under my name, or can you please approve. So those kind of simple or those kind of like not limited to simple, it also handles complex as well. Like when you integrate the same or I would say like if at all your work has been kind of like uh, RPA or DPA related works, then obviously this Copilot Studio would be helping you up with, like, the same example that what we saw on the online agent, which would be helping you up in answering the queries of which are the products which has been available, and it would be redirecting to the agent or redirecting to the person, and from there it would be helping you up to connect with. So all those different kind of things which need some kind of knowledge base being added, and a bit of the AI being added will be suitable for these kind of things.
Okay. And another question from Suresh Nair, who says, if I build a rack with vector DB, the output is not creative as the original output. Is it
Mhm.
possible to overcome this shortcoming?
So, I mean, I'm not sure of how the knowledge base has been. I mean, how far have you been trained the knowledge base, and what all the feature that what you had given for it, and it all depends on the multi-factor that what you would be giving on for the RAG, right? So it totally depends on the knowledge base that what you are giving, and um, along with that it would be something like when you, I mean, RAG is something that which has not been able to use inside the Copilot Studio at this moment, at least. Like you can have the different varieties of models which has been available, but when you want to integrate the RAG inside the Copilot Studio, then obviously you would be able to develop that inside the AI Foundry, and from there you can also have the checks being established, like how do you develop the regular bots, right? Like, sorry, the regular models, right? So you would be developing on those things, and from there you can retrieve the results, and once your result is being kind of like more standardized, then you can integrate the same inside the Copilot Studio, and from there you can go ahead and use that. So on the part of like shortcoming, maybe if at all your knowledge base is limited, then I would suggest you to go ahead and give more of the knowledge, like more, I mean, train the model more is something that I would say. So that's
Oh,
where the whole thing
so
lies on.
okay, I think Suresh Nair, to be very precise with the answer, it totally depends on the knowledge base. So I think maybe if you can connect with Bhargavi with the QR code provided on the screen, you would have a better understanding to your question. So for the further, I think we have another 1 minute. So I just take quick one question from Craig. He says, is it possible to embed this demo agent inside Canvas Power App?
Yes, that's possible. Like you have an export agent options, and when you give the export agent, then obviously it gets connected to the Power Apps, and that would be getting connected with the Power Apps.
All right, Craig. I hope you got your question answered. So thank you so much, Bhargavi. That was another awesome session, and happy to have you on the Copilot Chronicle series. Folks, if you still have more questions, we will have Bhargavi answer them, or you can connect with her on LinkedIn with the QR code displayed on the screen. So we will come up with more interesting sessions from the team of experts, MVPs, industry experts on the Copilot and on the AI agentic part. Stay tuned. Meet you again in the next episode of Copilot Chronicles. And thank you, Bhargavi, again, and Yadin and the team of Reactor. Thank you so much for hosting this.
Thank you so much, Kamal, for hosting me, and thank you so much, Reactor, for once again the opportunity with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.